What's up, guys? Hope you guys are good. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be doing something very practical and exciting. I want to share with you my top 6 secrets to growing an Instagram page completely from scratch in 2020. Now, these are things I would typically do if I was contracted by a brand or an individual to optimize, audit, or create a new page on Instagram. So these tips are very useful. These tips are tips you could actually monetize and start earning from online literally immediately. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all those who watched my previous video and showed so much love. Thanks so much for the comments. Thanks so much for the subscriptions. And thanks so much for the love, right? So first of all, who's this video for? It's for anyone who just created a new Instagram page and is looking to grow it completely organically. Now, there are some tips here that could actually help you grow your Instagram page. It's also for individuals and brands with existing Instagram accounts looking for ways to improve the growth of their pages and attract the right audience consistently every single day. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to be using an account I just created called Daily Art Africa. That's what we're using as our case study for this exercise. All right, so let's get the ball rolling. So what's the first thing we're going to do with this account is establish our niche. We want to clearly understand the kind of audience we want to appeal to with the content we'll be putting out moving forward. And yes, for Daily Art Africa, we're looking to attract art lovers, people that are drawn to art, artists across Africa to showcase their jobs and probably get gigs from our page on our platform. So those are the kind of audience we're looking to attract, right? And then it's very important to understand your niche because when you're starting out, you need to give someone a very good reason why they should follow you. Think about your own following habits. Why do you follow certain people? You follow certain people for two reasons. It's either an account that you're already aware of, for instance, Cristiano Ronaldo if you're a football lover, or Kim Kardashian if you're a fashion lover, and maybe Jay-Z or Kanye West if you're into the music thing, right? So these are people you already know. Now, the second reason why you follow accounts is either to get informed, entertained, or educated. Those are the three main reasons why people actually come online. So you need to have that at the back of your mind. And for the case of Daily Art Africa, we're both educating and entertaining people with the art we'll be displaying on our page, right? So that has to be very, very, very clear. You need to first of all establish who your niche is, what your niche is, and the audience you want to attract with your niche. So you might want to pause this video and think thoroughly, like, what is my niche and what are the kind of audience I want to attract. All right. So now that we're certain about our niche, which is African art or art across Africa, the next thing we want to do with this page is optimize our profile picture. Now we want to look for a very juicy, spicy, and interesting picture. Some picture that is literally going to pop out. That whenever people come across it, they want to literally click on their account to figure out what it's about. So I cannot emphasize this enough. It's very, very important. Why? Because your profile picture is the first thing people see when Instagram shows suggestions for you on their feed, or similar accounts when they click on other profiles to check other accounts that literally are similar to the accounts they just followed, right? So it has to be very, very catchy and exciting. So for the purpose of this video, this is what we chose as our profile picture. You see how catchy, you see how interesting, you see how it pops out naturally. All right, so let's move on. All right, now moving on to the next step. The next thing we want to do is optimize our profile name. Now, there's a common mistake I see a lot of people do on Instagram. You see people using their personal names as their profile name. Now that's a huge mistake because Instagram is so wide and is so large that nobody is literally searching for your name. People are literally not even aware that your account even exists. So the smart thing you want to do is to try to use a name that has a keyword that is attached to your niche. So for instance, if you're into comedy skits, for instance, you could use top comedy skits in Africa or in Nigeria. If you're into the fitness niche, you could use something that relates to fitness so that when the users on Instagram are searching for keywords that are related to your niche, your account gets to pop up amongst the top accounts that they want to check out. All right, so that's one pro tip I just shared with you guys. If you're still using your personal name as your profile name, either your personal name or your brand name as your profile name, you may want to change it. All right, you may want to change it. So for this account, we're going to be using top African arts, top African arts, and this is you could literally see how we just sprinkled the word African and arts in there, so that whenever someone searches for African arts, you know, our account gets to be part of the account that pop, you know, for them to literally check what we're about and probably like and follow our page. All right, so top African arts. This is a perfect way, this is the sure way to get discovered on Instagram, especially when your account is completely new, right? So after we have this out of the way, the next step is to optimize our bio. We need to create a catchy bio. A number of times I go on Instagram and then I see an interesting photo and an interesting name, and then when I go to the bio, I'm literally confused what this account is about. You see someone having about 3 to 5 different things that they're doing. There's no particular clarity on their niche, so you literally don't know what to expect from this account if you eventually decide to follow, right? So one of the things your bio actually does for you is it literally explains what your brand is about and the value people should expect from your account moving forward. All right, so every bio should have 3 of these main features: who you are, what you're passionate about, and lastly, what you're offering your audience, which is the reason why they should smash the like button. All right, so first, for this example, we're going to be using daily dose of contemporary art across Africa. That's explaining who we are. Then showcasing artists in Africa and diaspora, which is explaining our passion. And then online gallery for art for African goodness. Online gallery for African goodness, which just literally tells them why they should follow us, to get inspired, to get tips, to get stuff. So before we created this account, our goal was basically to grow it to the biggest African community in the world, where artists will sell art globally using our platform. So it is 100% business oriented from the start. All right, now that that's out of the way, the next thing you want to do is to add a call to action. And your call to action can either be your website, it could either be a direct link to your WhatsApp for people to chat with you, and or it could also be a mini website like what the guys at Disha Pages are offering. Now, I found this new app and it's something you can integrate on your Instagram, like a call to action. It literally is a mini website of that showcases your products and services. All right, it showcases literally everything. So even if you're not ready to have a website yet, you could have that and it will explain everything about what you do, what your brand is about, and why people should buy from you, basically. So you might want to check Disha Pages out. All right, so there you have it. We've been able to create a very catchy profile picture. We've optimized our profile name to have keywords related to our niche, and then we have an interesting bio that literally tells people why they should follow our page. Now, moving on, you've heard the saying where people say content is king. Content is key and content is king. That saying is absolutely correct. All right. Now you want to have interesting, catchy content on your page. No rooms for low resolution pictures. No rooms for trashy content on there. All right. You need to research. You need to ensure whatever you put out is targeted at getting a particular audience on your page. All right. Now, the next thing is we want to figure out what kind of content would art lovers or lovers of art be interested in across Africa. And our strategy is simply going to be this. We're going to research the top 5 accounts within the African art space currently on Instagram. And then we want to check out what they post, their highest engaging post, and then why they put out certain content they put out. Are they putting out more videos? Are they putting out still pictures? Basically, we're just narrowing down our research to 5 different accounts that are already doing it. And then you know what they say, if you want to be successful, model after success or successful people. And that's why we want to do this. So we'll be looking at these 5 different accounts and researching the kinds of content they are putting on their pages. Now that will give us an idea of the kind of content that resonates with the client or the audience we're looking to attract on our page. All right, so that is very, very important. Okay, so my next move will be to research the hashtags that are commonly used by these pages and create a collection which I'll put in a notepad, either Google Keeps or a basic notepad on your laptop or on your phone. Right, so I'm going to curate a list of hashtags that resonates with what people are searching for, that is linked up to art or African art. All right, so here's a pro tip. You don't want to use more than 20 hashtags on a post. You don't want to use more than 20 hashtags on a post so that you don't get Instagram's shadow ban. All right, I'll just explain briefly what Instagram shadow banning is. It's basically when Instagram actually renders your hashtag undiscoverable by vibrant users. All right, so when you use a particular hashtag, it literally blocks vibrant users from seeing your content. All right, so the easiest way to find out if certain hashtags have been shadow banned is when you make a post and then you click on certain hashtags. When you don't see that post you made, then you know that this particular hashtag is not good for your brand. It's not good for your page. All right, because you've been shadow banned basically. Another thing you want to consider is ensuring to use hashtags within the range of 300 to 500 posts and nothing more. Right, you want to avoid using 500k upwards, or else your content has the tendency of being suffocated and lost. So you just post it on there and then it gets suffocated and lost. Like community doesn't even get to see it or interact with it. All right, so it's better to use hashtags within the whole 300 to 500k post, and that way you're actually on the safe side. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do with this page is to ensure I have at least 12 catchy posts, videos, and images. This is very important because when I create this new page, Instagram automatically starts to notify people about the page. All right, and then when people come on this page and meet an empty feed, it literally bounces them off. So the next step is to, after doing our research on the content people will literally love to engage with in the arts niche, right? The next thing is we'll curate a list of content we're going to be posting on that page, and it's going to be nothing less than 12 videos or images. All right, now we're doing this so that when people come on the page they could actually have things to interact with, and that may even give them conviction to actually follow and like our page. All right, so we're going to stop here for the part 1 of this series. All right, I'm going to be releasing part 2 of this series next week, where I would continue this breakdown on how you could actually grow your Instagram page from scratch in 2020 and all the things I'll be doing if I was contracted to actually create a page or optimize a page. So what I just shared with you is basically what I do for accounts, and I've done this for numbers and numbers of accounts. I've optimized more than 50 to 70 different pages, and these were the different steps I used. And these accounts are literally seeing a lot number of follows. They're getting a lot of engagement. They're getting a lot of likes. So this is very valuable for anyone that wants to start on Instagram. So thank you again, guys, and watch out for part 2 of this series, where I'll be dropping a free gift for anyone that watches all the way to the end. It's an Instagram Ultimate Checklist, right? Instagram Ultimate Checklist. So watch out for part 2 of this series. Thank you. Ciao.